Hey guys, it's Mallard with another stamp video, and today I am actually throwing you guys for a curveball. I know it's been a week since I've uploaded, so I want to do something super special. I'm actually going to show you part of my coin collection. So in my grab bag, sometimes people will send me coins, sometimes people send me currency from where they're from, and the thing is, I love that. I do collect stamps. That is definitely my main thing I collect, but I also dabble with coins and currency. So I'm going to just show you kind of the highlights of my coin collection and my currency collection. As you can see, I got all my banknotes out here that I'm going to show you right now, but then we'll move into some of my actual full sets of coins. I hope my stamp people, don't worry, I'm not dipping my toe into the numismatic world of YouTube. I just want to do this as something fun to show you guys. So without further ado, we'll get started. We'll start up here. So as you can see, there's actually a Confederate currency. This one is genuine. Just so you guys know, there is a lot of reproductions of these types of bills out there. They're actually pretty common. They're not hard to find. Depending on what state it's from, sometimes they're just from cities. It could be more or less expensive. This one is obviously from Richmond, Virginia, so it is a pretty common one. I think I actually spent about 20 bucks to get this guy from an antique store. As you can see, it's super creased, not in great shape, but I love having this in my collection. And on the back of this, I actually put this silver banknote here, this large banknote. So for those of you who don't know, we are not on the gold standard anymore with our currency. So $1 that you have or $20 you have in your pocket is actually not backed up by silver or gold in our treasury. It is just paper in your wallet, and it's only $20 because we're willing to pay $20 for things. But back in the day, this was actually, you could turn it in and actually get $1 worth of silver. Nowadays, that's not the case. But I did put that on the back of this Confederate banknote just to keep them nice and protected. Moving on, you guys know I'm actually from the state of North Carolina. And as you can see, this is an old state of North Carolina $2 note from 1861. Really like this. I love just kind of the history of it, how old it is. I love that it lasts this long. As you can tell, again, not in great shape. I am, of course, not able to buy super expensive bank notes in general that are old, just because, once again, I'd rather invest my money if I'm going to drop some big bucks into some stamps that can add to my collection. But still, love having this guy here. We'll move those up to there. And last but not least, we have this one, really clean one here. Again, this is from North Carolina. It's a $5 note from 1866. Really cool design on the front. I love it. Flip it over again. Nothing on the back. In pretty terrible shape. But that's okay. Once again, just having these kind of banknotes from North Carolina from the 1860s I think is super special, so I wanted to add it in there. All right, so how I'm going to do my coins now is I actually have coins, and they come in these, I believe this is Whitman, I'm pretty sure, books here. So I'll kind of go over why I love these books, or they're not stock books, they're coin books. I'm not sure the correct term for them. But I love these because it protects the coin, and I can also see the front and the back of them. Just like my safe albums I put my stamps in, I want to make sure that when I invest money in coins that I have a good album to put them in as well. So as you can see, these are my large cent collection. They started way back in 1739. This one is actually pretty complete. I only need a few early ones, but once again, I'll show you guys that as we get going. So open it up. And as you can see, there is actually a whole page, and you can see it's super thick, front and back. You see the front and back of the coins, and I'm going to angle this so hopefully you can see it. As you can see at the very top of the screen, I'm missing the early ones. My earliest one is 1798, but guys, that's a coin from the 1700s. It is crazy that I have that, but I am missing some of the new ones, or for some of the super old ones, but those are just going to run you up in price. I know some of them, I need to go back in here and kind of make sure that they're all sitting the same way. But yeah, so I'm just going to kind of go through this. I don't know as much about coins as I should, as you can see. Just so you guys know, another tip for if you're kind of dabbling in coins if you get a clean coin, it is significantly worth less money. That 1808 is very much cleaned and is worth significantly less than it would be. Just like stamps have the Scott catalog where we get the prices, coins have their own catalog values. But once again, sometimes those catalog values do not ring true to what you will get for the coins, especially if they're cleaned. So I'll show you that page. We'll move on here. This is a pretty complete page. I'm going to kind of flip it up. You can see I'm missing 1823, 1821. It looks like that one up there, 1809. As you can see, all in pretty good shape. Nothing too spectacular. Moving on, this is definitely a complete page, as you can see. All the way from 1826 all the way to 1841. I have one of every year. This one looks a little clean to me. Once again, that does bring down the value, but still pretty cool. And the last page here looks like we are missing 1857. And I do know these are upside down and sideways, but at some point I'll fix that. But yeah, so as you can see, I have quite the selection of large cents. This is something that every now and then whenever I walk in an antique store, I actually have a list. Let me get the list for you guys of large cents that I have kind of accumulated. So I know if I see a large cent, I have a picture of this on my phone. So whenever I walk to an antique store and I see large cents, I'm like, oh, I don't have, 1794. Let's see how much it's worth. If it's worth a go, I usually try and grab it. If not, I usually don't do that. But as you can see, if it said 1808, if I can find one that isn't cleaned, I will definitely grab that. But that is my large cent collection. I'll put that one away. Moving up, so I decided to move up based on kind of their values. So we had large cents. Now we're going to Indian head and buffalo nickels, which are 5 cents. We'll open it up. I do like these too because they kind of tell you where the mint mark is, the different varieties sometimes in the front. And if any of you know anything about buffalo nickels, you know variety is super important. You got 1913 variety 1, 1913D variety 1, and so on and so forth. I've actually had all of these buffalo nickels checked for the variety at my local coin store to make sure that I was in fact correct in my homework, because I do not want to put a coin in here that is not what is listed. So all these varieties check out. Some of these up here can be worth a lot of money if they're in a higher grade. Some of these coins have been nickedated, which also decreases their value. A lot of times the year is right here, and it's actually really hard to see because these were worn down really easily. And one way you can see them is you nickedate them, but once again, that brings down their value. As you can see, this page is pretty full except for 19/8/7 and the 1918D here. We'll move on. Still got some holes. Got one up there. But as you can see, I've spent some time on this Buffalo Nickel album. It's doing pretty well. I do not have a list in here like I do my large cents, but I do have a picture on my phone with the list of the coins I need because I run into an antique store and I find some. And of course, the last page right here. So yeah, pretty full album. Pretty proud of that album. Buffalo Nickels. And I do like the design of Buffalo Nickels. I think they are very, very special. All right, guys, now we're getting to some of the heavy hitters. Mercury Dimes. I picked up most of this collection at an antique store. I was only missing, I believe, 3 coins from it. I paid $250 for this collection except for the heavy hitters, we'll just call them. All right. So if you know anything about Mercury Dimes, you know 1916D, the rarest one, super key date coin. I picked that one up recently. Cost me an arm and a leg, but I was glad to add it to my collection. It came up from actually John, the guy I'm partnering with, who is letting people bring their stamp collections in and letting me appraise them / buy them. He came across one and said, hey, do you want this? I'll try and cut you a deal. He definitely cut me a deal, and I snagged it from him. I trust him. It is not certified, which 1916D Mercury Dimes, you want to get them certified if you find them. But he said this is 1916D. If I had a better camera, I would zoom in on the back, and I would show you that the D is obvious. You can see it. It's good to go. 1921, 1921D, as you can see there. The condition of these Mercury Dimes definitely vary, but as you can see, full page. And like I said, if you can find a 1916D Mercury Dime, you're probably sitting on about $500, no matter the grade. But the key with the Mercury Dimes is the mint mark, and the mint mark, especially for those old ones, get worn off really, really easily. Moving on, super obvious, super full page. Again, the condition varies based on each coin. At this point, I'm not trying to get super good coins, super good condition coins. I'm just trying to fill this stock book, as you can see. It's not a stock book, it's a coin book. And as you can see, I actually have a few missing here. All right, got 1942D 2/1. I actually just picked this one up here, the 2/1 1942 without the D mint mark, but this one has been cleaned, so the value is low, and that's why I was able to grab it for a very, very good price. And then this 1945 Micro S, I'm not sure what that means, so I'm probably going to go to John, and he's going to help me out and look for it. One thing about these Whitman albums, if you push in the coin and you push too hard, you can actually rip the back, as you can see here. But Mercury Dime collection, super, super proud of that. This 1916D is definitely one that you want to look out for, even if you're a stamp collector. Stamps and coins sometimes go hand in hand, like I've said in previous videos. So if you see a 1916D, definitely grab it. Definitely get a nice book to put it in. Definitely get it certified by a professional to make sure it's truly a 1916D. And last, but certainly not least, it is my piece dollar collection. And like I said earlier, this is not my whole coin collection. I got a lot of random coins. I actually bought a lot of silver coins, like silver quarters, dimes. I was silver stacking for a period of time just because I could get good deals on them, especially when the pandemic first hit. The spot price of an ounce of silver was super low, so those coins were super easy to get for super cheap prices, and I pulled the trigger on them. But yeah, so here's my piece dollar collection. As you can see, good first page. Some of these are in great condition, some of them are not. Some of them are used, some of them are worn. Some of them have some patina on them, which I enjoy looking at. I do have a Morgan dollar collection, but it is not even close to being done because there's so many Morgan dollars. So I thought I'd show you guys my piece dollar collection. I do know one of these piece dollars in the mid-20s is worth a lot of money. Fortunately, I found one for pretty cheap. We'll move on. And like I said, one good thing about these books, see the front and the back. And last page, these guys. So I have a completed piece dollar coin collection that I'm super proud of. Hopefully we can get the Buffalo nickels and Mercury dimes and large cents there one day. But for me, a stamp collector, this coin collection is decent for sure. And I view these coins as an investment because they have a monetary value beyond just, what people say. This is actually 90% silver, so I know if I melt this down, I can have real silver. Unlike stamps, they are not an investment. I wouldn't invest in stamps just because I do it as a hobby because I love it. I love collecting stamps. But if you're looking for an investment that you can maybe get a return on, coins might be a good way for you to do that. Just an example, the most rare stamp in the world previously sold recently for way under the asking or the predicted value because the stamp market is so low. That's not a bad thing, especially for people like me who collect stamps. I can get stamps for very cheap, add them to my collection. Unlike these coins, a super rare coin has stayed high. They haven't gone down in value like pretty much at all. So stamps are at a low value. So if you're a stamp collector, definitely get in the game. Definitely look for some rare stamps. They're going to be cheaper for sure. But yeah, guys, that's my just quick coin collection I want to show you guys. I know it's a little bit of a curveball. I know you guys are used to stamp videos. Don't worry, I don't plan on doing a coin video anytime soon. We'll get back on page. Hopefully, I can do a grab bag tomorrow. Been super busy with soccer camps and everything. I have to drive about an hour one way every day for soccer camp. Which lasts about 3 hours. I have to come back and do some work in the office. So it's been super hard for me. Thank you guys so much for understanding and for still watching these videos and for just encouraging me to continue doing what I'm doing. Don't worry, we will get back to stamp videos very soon. And as always, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for watching.